Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season 2 of the Chosen podcast with me, Daniel.
And me, Mark.
And we welcome you back to this world famous podcast.
We're
on
back.
Our second season, Mark. What was happening?
We're back, man. And what is happening?
Who was asked for this?
Season 2. Who's asked for this? Yeah. All you poor lot watching this now, welcome back.
So, just quickly, if you do like this, please give us a like, please comment, please subscribe, please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, the whole lot. We would really appreciate it.
Follow the Spotify as well, please.
Yeah, 100%.
That would be absolutely fantastic.
And today, we are going to give it over to Mark. Mark is going to control this whole episode. I don't really know what's going on, so it's all up to Mark.
Daniel, you sit and chill, right? I've got you for this one. That's it. For Spotify listeners, Daniel's taking his... No.
I just pulled out a pillow and a duvet.
Yeah,
what's going
duvet?
on?
What's going on? Nighttime music? What's going on? Right, so mate, before we crack on with the hot topic of the episode, let's talk about the rebranding. We have guys at home and guys watching and listening. If you haven't seen already, on the socials, the YouTube, everywhere, you can see that we have now rebranded our whole brand. Basically, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I think we've got some positive reactions so far, Dan, haven't we?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the feedback we got from the original one was it was too dark, and we're kind of friendly and not that dark. You know?
Right. Yeah. So we had some comments from you guys at home saying that our content didn't match the branding, and me and Daniel completely agreed with you on that. So we sat down, we had a few conversations and a few sort of testers of what we wanted to do, and we have come up what we have come up with. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I know that me and you, Dan, we're quite happy with the rebranding.
Yeah, very happy.
I really like the logo, and I think I have you to thank for that.
Just a moment of genius.
I have you
Mark.
to thank.
I don't know where it came from.
We were playing some ideas, and we were sitting there, and you went, I was thinking about that. Bang, turn around. It's sort of already there. Let's work on it. Done. Resized it. And here we are now. So, Daniel, you deserve 100 likes for this video.
Well, that's down to everybody else to like for us, please. Show some support.
Show some love for Daniel's logo, please. I want 100 likes right now.
It's just my logo, isn't it?
It's just yours now, yeah. I'm just tagging along. In fact, I don't know why I'm here.
Just going to remove you from the logo. It's just as my logo now.
Yeah, it's just you. Season 1 then, mate. Let's recap. I think it went really well. I had a lot of fun. Is there any sort of moments for you that stand out in terms of topics that we've spoken about or moments within the podcast? Is there any that stand out for you?
I think the best moment has to be going to the studio. I think I don't think that can't be the highlight of the whole thing, you know?
I think you're right.
But doing it at home is cool. This is fine via Zoom and everything. That's cool. It works the same. But to actually be in the same room in a nice studio, you know, everything set up, that was cool.
Yeah.
And that was an experience, wasn't it? You know, I really enjoyed that.
It definitely was. It definitely was. And I think, because we haven't done that before, both of us. I think to do it for the first time, each together at the same time for our own podcast was just amazing. And I think it went down really well as well. And I think the episode looks pretty cool. I think one of my highlights though is the true or fake news headlines with Jim.
Oh no.
That was epic. That was incredible, Jim. If you're watching, you were a great guest, and we want you on again one time soon. But
I don't remember anyone called Jim. Did someone called Jim come on? No idea.
Well, someone's feeling sour.
I don't know where that came from, mate. As far as I'm aware, I won all true and false headlines.
Yeah, really?
I don't know. I don't know what you're coming up with, mate.
If you can, put the clip here. Just a little reminder of what you know I'm on about.
Of Jim just celebrating. Yeah, no, that was the greatest comeback in the history of headlines. True or false.
100%. 100%. That for me was a great moment. Just because I saw you thought you had it in the bag.
You know, another big moment for me was having Dan on That Must Die, because first guest, it was like, okay, now somebody else is involved, you know, and you were actually focusing on them.
Yeah,
That was
and that was a
quite a big
really
moment.
great chat as well. When it,
Yeah,
that was fantastic, man. I not only sort of learned more about him now, obviously because we haven't spoken for so long, but more about Twitch as well. We learned so much about Twitch.
I think the good
Um,
thing with that was that we know Dan personally, so it was quite.
yeah,
It was more relaxed than say somebody you didn't know was your
yeah,
first
just like a
guest. You know, it
random that's come on. Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
good to have to get that feel of asking somebody questions and that sort of stuff. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And again, he was great. And I hope that Dan's doing well, Dan and Jim. Yeah, I think it's just getting the guests on, wasn't it? I think that was really that was quite a cool moment to do
Yeah.
because we didn't really have that in the pipeline, really, did we? I mean, we wanted to at some point, but we didn't really sort of see it coming as quick as it did.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we thought it'd come for a long time, to be honest.
I didn't think we did. We would do. We would have.
But
Can't speak
Dan,
English.
Dan felt like an obvious choice. We were doing
Yeah,
Twitch. We know somebody who streams to Twitch other than myself.
yeah.
Why wouldn't we ask him? You know.
Why wouldn't we? Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then that sort of gave us the confidence to go in with Jim as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. So with this, guys at home watching, so obviously we have the rebranding. We are obviously going to keep the same format. Things might change. We've added a few more bits here and there, but we'll tell you along the way of what they are. But most of all, it's going to be the same format, different topics, conversations, and then we're going to get guests on when we can.
yeah,
So that's it. So yeah, guys, just let us know your favorite moments from season one down below in the comments. Let us know what you think about the rebranding as well. And yeah, we'd like to know your thoughts and comments, guys.
and just before you move on, Mark, I
Yes.
just remembered in our last podcast, season 1, we done what jobs we have had. If you remember.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I do. Yeah.
Now, I listened back to the episode when I was editing and so on. And I realized I missed out about 6 years of my life. I actually worked as a labourer / painter / builder / everything on a building site for about 6 years before I joined the furniture company. I just wanted to, because I forgot all about that part. And I was like, oh no, when I listened to it back, I was like, how did you miss that whole thing out?
It's like the biggest part of your life. All right, then let's talk about that first and foremost. So how did you get into it?
So it was a friend's dad, basically. I just left college. Wasn't doing any good at college, so I left. It's funny, I was actually doing a painting course. Painting and decorating course, yeah, after I finished college. But I just wasn't for one sitting in a classroom and learning, to be honest. Just put me in a room and asked me to paint. There we go. Off you go, you know.
Did you find that you learnt more when you were on the job itself rather than
1,000,000%?
Yeah.
I much preferred it. Just this is what you do, this is how you do it. Now get on with it.
Crack on. Yeah.
And you pick things up that you're doing wrong along the way, you know.
What did you find at the time, sort of throwing yourself in the deep end? What did you find hardest? What was like the moments you thought, shit, I can't do this, or like, oh, this is really tough? Like, did you have any?
I don't think I had any of that really. I just enjoyed actually earning money. I think being another 17-year-old, earning money, cash in hand at the end of the day, end of the week. Sorry, loved it. Loved it. Yeah, no, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I don't know if he liked me at first because I would be on site and I'd just go around talking to everybody, like the electricians and plumbers. Curious about what they're doing, you know. And I remember the first day I went with him, I spent probably 3/4 of the day talking to an electrician. And he said to me at the end of the day, what did you do? You've done nothing. You're just talking to that guy all day. And I was a bit like, oh, okay, yeah, shit, you actually have to work now, you know.
But the idea of wanting to go and learn and just doing that, just speaking to other people about just being a sponge, and I think that's got to be commended. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that's the right attitude to have. But
I'm just that type of person, though. I like to learn by doing things, you know.
Yeah, I get a sense of that.
Same with this podcast and stuff, man, and things I send you, pictures I do on Photoshop and all that sort of stuff. I'm just someone who wants to do something. I don't want to sit in a class and be taught how to do this and watch someone else do it, you know. I want to just
you just want to just I think that's the best way to learn. I think. I mean, some people may be different, but just like hands on and just do it. Because how do you know what it is? How do you know what it feels like, or how to do things if you're just watching something else? I don't get that.
It's like trial and error as well, isn't it? You got to
Yeah,
learn
exactly.
by making your own mistakes rather than
You
someone
have
else
to
telling you.
fail, man.
You know.
You have to fail. Yeah.
And I've made loads of things where I look at now. I'm still nowhere near advanced, you know, but I look at things now and
No.
think, yeah, that was rubbish. You should have done this and that, you know.
Yeah, but
As in
you're willing
Photoshop
to,
stuff and that, yeah.
yeah, of course. But you're willing to learn from that and better it for next time, which I
Yeah.
think is great.
Yeah.
You're not looking at it as like, oh, that's shit, or like, you know.
No.
Yeah.
You're
No,
gonna
I
get
rate
better
that.
every time you do something.
Exactly. Yeah. So I know I rate that, man. So you were there for 6 years.
Mm.
And what did you? So was it just painting, decorating, or was it all
Painting and
sorts?
decorating, we were doing loft conversions, you know,
Mm.
kitchen extensions, the whole lot.
Yeah. And what made you leave?
Just sort of work dried up because it's all self-employed work, isn't it? So once you, I suppose, once you get to the point where people aren't coming in anymore, you just you're not earning. You're just sitting at home waiting for something to come in. You know, you try all the leaflet things and phoning people and all that sort of stuff, but
Did you do all
there's
that?
no
Or
work.
did
There's
someone
no
else?
work.
Yeah.
No, that was all
Yeah.
down to the guy who was in charge. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe thinking back now, maybe I should have done more like that, but really, I was just his employee as such. You know.
Yeah. You were there for that sort of side
Yeah.
of the role rather than the sales part, I suppose.
Mm.
No, so that's a huge part of your life that you
Just completely missed. Like, yeah.
Yeah. God.
And just one other point.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Just one other point I want to make because
Yeah.
my wife said this. I think she commented on it under the comments. Is that I can't stop fidgeting, and I can't now. I'm talking to you, and I know my chair is going round like this. I can't help it.
That is hilarious. It's just something you're comfortable with.
Yeah. It's just I'm just doing it. You know.
Just used to it.
So yeah, I just wanted to get those 2 points out.
In every episode, you're going to be. Everyone's just going to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to see you fidgeting for the rest of the series now.
It's funny because like I know I'm doing it, but I can't stop. Like I'm doing it, and then if I stop, I then become uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and just moving is just like I don't know.
It's like when you're at school when you sort of swang on the back of the chair, get on the two legs. I used to do it all the time, mate.
What about the story though that every teacher would tell you about the kid that fell off and banged his head?
He died or something. Like I think he done. The same kid went to every school, had the bad luck in every single school, didn't he?
I swear, like every teacher just learns that in university. Like this is the story you have to tell the kids. Like, I'm sure that's what they learn
before they sit down. Right?
Yeah, that's like a whole term of them learning about that story. I'm sure it is.
Their end exam is to say it word by word correctly. If they don't, they fail.
Exactly the same. They've all got to say exactly the same. So it's believable. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, did your teacher say the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's another episode we have to do at school because there's some absolute like gold pieces of information that we could take like this that was said everywhere, man.
Yeah.
We need to
I'm not sure I want to relive much of my school, to be honest.
What the 4 months you were there?
I don't think many people would want to stay subscribed once I tell my stories. I was not a nice person. I want to say that.
You've grown and learned from your mistakes. Anyway, moving on.
Let's move on.
Moving on. Wait there. I need a drink of water as well. I don't know what's going on. So, Daniel, question. Do you have Netflix?
I sure do.
Do you watch Netflix a lot?
Not a lot, but not a little. But not a little.
Average amount.
In between, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, average.
And what do you tend to watch on Netflix? There's a reason why I'm asking this question, but go on.
Movies, series, everything really. The kids use it a lot more than I do. There's a lot of kids things on there.
Yes, of course. They got the kids channel thing in it.
So they watch it. But yeah, I like watching. I've been watching. What is it called? 24 Hours in A&E.
Oh yeah,
I love that. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I can't watch that, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I get a bit like squeamish.
Yeah, see, like obviously I've recently had the accident with my hand, which we won't go into, but I like sliced my hand open, as you know, and I could see like all my bones, right? Now, if I saw that on somebody else, I would have been sick. I'd have thrown up.
Straight.
But I think it was on my own hand, and it wasn't affected or anything. like by
Not at
seeing
all.
my bones and stuff. Not really. I don't know whether it's adrenaline or what,
It
but I
might
just
have been
was
an
like,
adrenaline. Yeah.
it was like it just go to the hospital. You need to fix my hand, basically. You know, it's,
You like, sorry, I think I've got a problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Got my phone hanging out.
but the one thing I will say about that is they had to inject it, obviously to make it numb because they had to sew it all back together.
Yeah.
Um, and that is the most unbelievable pain I've ever been in.
Really.
They must have stabbed me like 30 times with the needle, but they are going
Fucking.
into all the muscles and like, oh, it was awful. Honestly, worst pain ever.
We are fidgeting around like.
Oh,
What?
they were like kept telling me off, like you got to stay still, you know, like because they had to numb it all, and I just
Yeah.
couldn't. I just could not stay still.
Fuck.
It was
I,
awful. The
I
pain
can't
was
even
unreal.
imagine what that felt like, man.
But here, anyone who's squeamish, don't listen, right? But I went to the hospital originally near where we live, and they looked at it and blah blah blah, and they put like what do they call it, gauze. They put gauze on it. So I then got sent home, and I had to go to another hospital the next day, a more specialist hospital. I was like, cool, it's wrapped, whatever. They know what they're doing. I go to the next hospital. I get in the chair. They start taking the gauze off, and, you know. And I was like, I was a bit like blood, but then I got over it very quickly. But what they had done, they put dry gauze on it, so it stuck to my hand.
Oh my days. Yeah,
And they had to peel it off, and it was unbelievably painful. And they had to
'Cause
wet
that's
it
not
all to
that-
try and get it off, but they were like, what have they done here? Like even they were shocked that someone had done that.
That's horrendous.
It was awful.
Do you reckon that was like a trainee doctor that's done that to you then or something?
Don't know. I don't know whether it's
Or,
just,
or
he
just a
didn't care
pleb?
or what. Yeah. But it was
Jesus.
awful, mate. It's awful.
That must have been so like
Yeah.
proper painful, man.
But anyway, look, we
Jesus.
got onto that from
Yeah,
24 hours
sorry.
at A&E, but
Yeah, right. So back to my Netflix question.
Yeah.
So you're a series man. So this begs the question then. So at this time of recording, there is a huge Netflix series called Squid Game. Have you watched Squid Game?
Right. So you put on your Instagram about Squid Game, didn't you, Mark?
This is 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, God. And I did. Just everybody is going on about this bloody program. And it is annoying the life out of me. But anyway, because what I feel like, and it's the same with Tiger King when that come out. Everybody jumps on it. And really, when you sit back and watch it, it's like, it wasn't really that good. It was okay.
That tiger thing was crap. I
really liked Tiger King. I thought
Did you?
I thought it was brilliant.
This is it.
Do you know what it is? It was brilliant because it's so mad. It's just like, this isn't
It's
real
crazy.
life.
Yeah.
Don't tell me this is real life. You've made this up. This is a story. Like, that's why I like that, because it was so mad. But in terms of Squid Game, I saw a YouTube video and they played all the clips of the games. So it missed out all the in-between stuff and it just played the games.
Right. Yeah.
And I watched it all the way through and I thought, I am glad I didn't watch the in-betweens because this sucks.
Oh my God.
I did not find it fun at all. And I was like, I'm glad I did not watch the whole series.
But the thing is, though, is that with those games, that there's so much context that highlights the games even more. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that like
maybe what you're saying is that I haven't given it a chance, is what you're
saying. Yeah. You've basically just seen the games, which are in itself are cool, but without the context of like the relationships and the stories and all that sort of stuff, they don't hold weight, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do today is not only talk about Squid Game, but I wanted to actually go through the games themselves and ask you, and we'll have a discussion, of course, how we would go about playing these games.
Okay.
Right. So obviously now I know you've seen the video, so I'm sure you're aware of some of the games anyway. So game number one, they called it red light, green light, but for us, it's grandmother's footsteps, wasn't it? Where there's someone at the
footsteps.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Wasn't it called something Wolf, Mr. Wolf or something?
Oh yeah, it might.
Do you remember what that was called? Wasn't it? Yeah.
Wait. Let's get that now, because I know it's grandmother's footsteps is something. Grandmother's
footsteps.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that. I'm sure at school it was called something Wolf or. I'm sure
Yeah.
it was called something like that.
Okay, right. What is the game Grandmother's Footsteps? One person is grandma. She faces a wall. If she sees anyone moving, she points them out. So
Yeah.
that's but then it must have been called that as well. What was it? What was it called? What did you say it was? Wolf?
I can't remember. It was Wolf something or something Wolf or. Oh,
We'll find out. We'll have
yeah.
to fact check that and
Because I know
find.
that there was Wolf something, and then now that's when you've said that I'm like, I'm sure it was called something else.
No, I'm with you on that
I'm
one.
not going to search it, yeah, but wasn't it something to do with Time, Mr. Wolf, or something like that? Like,
Yeah,
go on,
something
because
like
I'm
that.
going to keep thinking about
Yeah.
it. Go on.
Anyway, game number one, right, is Grandmother's Footsteps. So there was this huge child doll-like metal thing at the end of the room, right? In a very wide open space, about 400, 500 people. I can't remember what the exact number was. And in essence, the machine girl turns around, sings a little tune, and within that, you rush forward, try and run towards her. And she turns around. You have to be really still. And if you get caught, spoiler alert for the people that haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen it, skip these these games or just go and watch the series before you watch this episode. You get shot. Right, they don't know this at this moment in time. They're thinking they're playing this little game and all that sort of stuff. But if you move, bang, you die. Right, you're eliminated literally from game and from life. So, if going into this game, Daniel, how would you play this game? Because there were certain tactics that people were taking that were a bit cheeky, and then some were just playing the game and just trying to beat it and just like hoping for the best.
So, does it matter if you're lost?
So there's a time limit. There was, I think it was 10 minutes of time that you had to do this in.
So it doesn't matter if you come in last place as long as you beat 10 minutes.
If you cross that line at 5 seconds to go and you're last out of the lot, you're still through.
Then I would probably crawl.
You'd crawl.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Because you could just lay still. Surely that's the least movement. On your feet, all it takes is you stop in the wrong place and you move back or move your head. If you're laying down, face down, just crawling, surely.
Yeah.
Because I'm presuming you hear the noise stops.
Yeah, so she sings that little tune, and then as soon as the tune stops, she turns around. So it's called Red Light, Green Light. She sings this tune about that name, that title, and then she turns around. So you know when it finishes for her to. You kind of know when she's going to turn around, basically.
So I'm saying crawl.
You'd crawl.
I'd crawl.
So some people,
because if you're crawling, you're not gonna. You can't fall over. You can't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really make any sudden movements.
No.
You know, and as you said, if you know it's coming, then you should be in a position where you know I can be dead still here.
Yeah. So you're saying laying flat on the ground, you're more contact to the ground, so you haven't got any sort of
army crawl.
Because my thing about running or walking or whatever it may be, like you said, if you catch yourself wrong and you trip, that's it, done.
Yeah,
you're dead. So a lot of people on the video as well was they'd hide behind people.
Okay.
So they'd be right close to people here until they got taken out or something, or just all the way. That was a tactic people were playing, and then other people were just playing the game. I mean that's a smart one. What you've said, I didn't really think of that, but yeah, take your time as long as you get there.
Yeah. Use the full 10 minutes and just crawl your way to safety.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I feel like that would be your best chance in terms of losing your balance or anything.
Yeah, that's it. So
you're not going to lose your
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I do? I just leg it.
Just trying to do one go.
Like, do you know what? Yeah, I'd leg it as fast as I could. I like just try and bolt it as fast as I could. But obviously, they're doing that you have more of a chances of fucking up, basically.
Oh yeah, because once they turn around, you've got to be ready to stop instant, and that's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in the series, it speeds up as well.
Oh, okay.
So the closer you got, the quicker the tune would go.
Yeah.
And the quicker she would turn around.
I do feel like if you already know what the tune is, even though it's getting quicker, you still know when the end is coming.
You can time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
a
very distinctive tune.
you could even stop a couple of seconds before because you know it's about to end.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
So you'd have that quick, quick second of just to compose and bang and stay still.
I would go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I like that one. I like that answer. I think that's probably the way to do it. Game 2. This one's a funny one. I don't think there's many ways of doing this. But game 2 was, I think it was like a honeycomb or sugar, like dessert sweet thing or biscuit thing that they have in Korea. And there's shapes within these sugar thing. I was going to call them sugar biscuits.
I think it was honeycomb. I think you're right.
Is it honeycomb, right?
I think
honeycomb.
so, but from what I saw with the clip.
Yeah. So within these honeycomb bits, there were shapes. And they would have to pick a shape and get one of these biscuit things and cut out the shape with like a pin. And without breaking it. If you broke it, you're dead, right? Now, someone had a lighter and heated up their little needle and done that. Now, eradicate the fact that we don't have any lighters now, right? We don't have any lighters. What would you do?
It's tough.
Do you think there's like another tactic around that, because it looked quite flimsy?
Obviously, I saw some of it from YouTube. It didn't show the full thing, but I think it showed just the basic of what the task was.
Yeah,
you didn't see the thing from the beginning to the. But I did see that the guy was licking his, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Into shape.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you just get the pin and just scratch around the shape and just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it gently and let the pin do the work, and eventually you'll get through, I would imagine.
That's the painter coming at you, isn't it?
Well, this is me painting.
Just let the utensil do the work, mate. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. He only used to give me a brush this big, so I used to do the whole walls with that.
You're still painting next door's house, isn't it? That's what... I think you're right, because I think when I saw him do like licking the honeycomb thing, I thought, I get what you're doing. I get what you're trying to do, but I couldn't see it working. I thought the whole biscuit's gonna flop, like all this sort of stuff. You just have to be really precise and patient, right? And just know that you've got plenty of time to do this. I know one of the shapes was like an umbrella or something, which is crazy, but compared to like a circle, but you'd have to just keep going over it, wouldn't you? Every little bit until it's broken, just keep going.
I think you just scratch it very, very gently, I think.
Yeah. But then I think at these moments, this is like the what's the word I'm trying to find? The unrealistic point side of me. I think in those moments, there are more people in there that are doing the tasks than bodyguards. Why are we just all not that? Take them all out.
Because there's probably more behind the scenes, isn't there?
Oh, there's probably loads, Daniel, but that's not the point. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Listen, you probably could. You could try and
them.
You know, it's a thing on a sort of different subject, but same sort of principle. Is like I always say about football stadiums. A football stadium could overrun the pitch within seconds.
Easily.
What's going to happen? What, the 10 stewards are going to hold back 50,000 people? I don't think so. Same concept as what you're saying.
It's very
they
true.
probably could overturn them, but then what about the people behind the walls and whatever?
Yeah, true. Very, very true. Now, game 3 was a good old tug of war. I really like this episode or this game. Very gripping. But for those that don't know what it is like, basically the tug of war game, they got into teams. I can't remember how many people. This, for argument's sake, say 8 or 10 people, whatever. And the idea was a tug of war game, Dan. And as you know, they are on very, 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 very high platforms with a gaping hole in the middle that would fall down to the ground. And the idea is that you'd pull this the rope far enough to your side that this big sharp knife guillotine thing will come down and chop the rope, and the rest would fall to their death, right? So picking your team, Daniel, how would you go about this?
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? It is
Would
tough.
you go for pure strength and muscle and people that are strong, or would you go to people and ask them, oh, would you have you done this game before? Do you know much
I
about
think
it? Because
I think if you get a big muscly blokes, you've got to win within the first minute. You got to really just go all out and just pull. Obviously, I know that's the end of
just
the game, but just like
yeah.
go for it, because
Mm.
I think they're going to tire pretty quickly, especially the bigger fellows. You know, they're just it's
Just burn out
weightlifters, aren't
quick.
they? They're going to burn out and get
Yeah,
tired
yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
personally.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I think you're right.
you also don't want the skinniest people in the group because they're probably not going to be very strong.
Mm.
Just being honest.
Hmm.
So you sort of go for somewhere in between. I think not too
Mm.
big, not too small, and just.
Yeah.
But in terms of tactic, there is no tactic really, is there?
Mm.
With tug of war, it's just pull a rope,
Just
and I
pulling
think
over the
just
bed.
get low down, bend your knees, get your grip, and just pull
Plant
for your
yourself
fucking
nicely.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
I'd like to think that if I was to ever do that, is to get into a position where the whole team is like proper firm. They're
Mm,
to the ground and they're just, you lot are not moving at all. You're just holding it there,
yeah,
and the other team are burning out, trying to but you're sturdy. You're there. You've got more. I don't know, just like pure strength that you're not budging at all. But other guys are just pumping and trying to pull and doing all this sort of messy stuff where you've just got it firm and clean.
So what about
And
this for a tactic? I don't know if this is cheating, but
gone.
this could be a tactic. So you pull the rope, obviously, because that's the aim of the game. Providing you're stronger, this is. You
Yeah.
pull it so you can see they're pulling, right? They are going for it. Let go of the rope.
Yeah.
Because they're going to fall over. You can just pull the rope.
Yeah. So
In terms of
funny.
your game, that doesn't work because they're not going to fall to their deaths because they're going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
But is that can you do that as a tactic? I don't know. If
Well,
your life's on the line, then surely everything goes.
funny you say that, because one of the teams did do that.
Oh, okay.
So they're chained to the rope as well. So they can't.
Okay.
So if they let go, they're still attached to the rope. Hence why
I get it.
they definitely fall to their death, right? But the main team that we follow throughout the sort of game and the series, they were pulling. They were sort of losing their grip and losing their sort of formation, and the other team was winning. And one of the guys was like, give them slack, basically, like go with them, take 2 steps forward, they said, and then go with the strength again, right? Pardon me. So they did that. They fell down. As soon as they fell, they just went, right, go for it, and just pulled as quickly as they could, and that's how they won.
Okay.
So I guess you could do that. It wouldn't be a form of cheating. It'd be
Yeah.
like a tactic that you could use.
I think that would be the way to go. Being chained to the rope does change that drastically.
It makes a few changes, doesn't it?
But yeah.
Game 4. It's called the marble game, right? You are put into twos, right? You have to pick a partner, and they get told that you basically assume that you pick a partner, right? You're going to go up against other people, like other teams, and as a duo. But lo and behold, they get into this room, and then they are given bags of marbles. They are told that they are now facing each other, and last one to collect, or the first one to collect all the marbles from the other person wins. The person that doesn't have all the marbles loses. How they do this is up to them. Certain people were playing one type of game, and one person was playing another type of game, right? But you had to get all of the 10 marbles from someone else. You had 20 marbles to win, right?
Okay.
Now, within this is one of my favorite episodes. There was the main guy who wanted to help the old man out because he felt sorry for him, right? He really liked him. They're really close. There was one other guy that was he wanted just to get the game done and sort of had a hard exterior, with someone who was a very soft, timid, shy person, very vulnerable in this situation. So they were paired, but physically strong, but paired anyway. And then there was a husband and wife that were paired. So now all of these people are now playing against each other, right?
Okay.
So the husband and wife, one of them's dying. So that conflict there for me was insane. So putting yourself in one of them shoes, knowing that your fate is now handed over to this guy or this person, and likewise their fate is now in your hands. How would you play that game?
So I feel like they've already done 2 games. They now know what's happening. You are going to be killed. This is obviously a tournament to have one person left. It's clearly obvious, I would say.
Yeah, very.
I would pick the weakest looking person. I would
You
take
would.
the old guy. I'd be like, come on, mate, I'll help you. I'll get you through it. Don't worry, I'll accept my death, and then I'll fuck him over and beat him. Easy. Why not?
Yeah.
Because at this point, you must know what's going on. So it's like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
mate, my best bud, let's go do this. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
You're obviously not here for a laugh. They are shooting people if you don't win. So what do you think is happening?
And they're going to do the most craziest things, like make you think it's something else and then turn you against each other and done.
So I feel like you should know at that point already, this is going to be one person's going to win this.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to, everyone else is going to have to die.
Yeah.
So pick the old guy, convince him that you're his
You
mate.
go weakest link.
Yeah, let him die,
Let him die. Yeah.
Listen, he might beat you, but you pick the weakest link and hope for the best.
And hope for the best, yeah.
And I'm purely going on the fact that I'm presuming the aim is to survive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Of course.
Why would you pick the strongest guy? You're not going to, are you?
Well, unless you're you're convinced that it's going to be like, right,
yeah,
you're going to help each other out to win a game.
In the marble game, unless you thought the strongest guy was the weakest link, you wouldn't pick him.
Yeah.
You'd wait till somebody else,
Yeah. So they're only told that it's the marble game when they get into the room as well. So the rules are sort of said to them whilst they get into the room.
Okay. But even I feel like you picked the weakest link in any of those situations. Anyway. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? As I said, I feel like you should know by now. You've just witnessed people get shot in the head. You should realize what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying pick the weakest link because just in case it is what it is, you're playing against each other. You know what's going on.
And if he beats you, then he beats you. It's tough luck.
It's just
what other tactic are you going to take? You're not going to take the most athletic, strong-looking person. You're not going to do it because chances are you're going to lose. You just have to hope someone knocks him out.
Yeah. See, this is where it gets a bit what's name for me. Yeah. So I would hate the fate of now my progression in the game and my life, as it were, is now up to this person, basically, how good they are at this game or said game, right? And obviously how good I am at the game as well, right? So I feel like if there is a 50% chance of me dying, I am willing, and this sounds stupid, but I am willing to take that 50% chance of dying and trying to take over a bodyguard. I would rather take that, and shift it in a different direction, I think.
You're definitely dying, bro. You're not getting through round one. You are dreaming.
I've always said that in horror movies, I'm the first one to go, bro. I'm the first one to go.
I just feel like I understand what you're saying, and I think it could work to a point.
Yeah.
But you still have to charge this person, and someone has to go first. That one person who's going first is dying. And potentially second and third, depending on how many bullets they got.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's kind of like, do you want to take the risk that you and 6 other people are going to die, you know?
I just feel like, listen, if I've got to fight for my life, I'll fight for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I've got to play fucking marbles and lose and get shot in the head, that's mad. I'd rather go out all guns blazing. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of feel like if I had like one marble left and I was like, oh God, this is... Because I haven't watched this, I don't really understand what the rules are.
Yeah.
I feel like I just battered a person. I don't know what the rules are. Can you just throw him on the floor?
I can't remember if violence.
You know?
I can't remember if they said. I know there was something about violence wasn't allowed or something. I can't remember that. It may have been that game. I can't quite remember, but I guess if there isn't though, fucking hell, that's
what I mean. Just go for it and beat him up, nick the marble, and say I got 20. See ya.
Yeah, mate. And I've done your job for you, mate.
Yeah. No, I know it's not as simple as that, but I'm saying if you get to that point where you're like, my life is now one marble away,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do something drastic. I think.
You have to do something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Right, game 5. This is the second to last game, right? And this is the glass bridge one, right? So
Okay.
this is again, this bridge is it's like really, 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 really high up above the ground, and there are two like bridges basically of glass, but there's a glass panel, and there's like a 2-foot gap, and then there's another glass panel. So there's two rails that go like that, and there's glass, 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 glass like this. Now, on each row, one glass is proper solid glass. You can stand on it. It's all that sort of stuff. But the other glass is weak. I can't remember what they called it. Tampered glass or something. I don't know. And it will smash and you can't stand it. It's too weak. You'll go straight through it. Okay. So basically, they get into this room beforehand, right? And there are 16 vests because there's 16 left, right? 1 to 16. They ask the people to choose a vest from a mannequin. First of all, what number would you choose?
Well, it depends. Do you know what is coming?
No. At this point, you don't.
I still feel like you need to pick a later number.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because again, it's easy to look at it this way because you're not in it, but isn't it pretty obvious if it's 1 to 16, whoever's number 1 is going first? Surely that kind of seems obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I feel like you need to be 10th, 12th, something like that. Especially for a game like this, because someone's going to get across to a certain distance before the glass breaks. The next person knows now they have to go this way. They might get 2 and a glass will break. So then you know, so if you're like near the end but not at the end, surely the path should be there to just jump across. Yeah,
exactly. So you're saying you'd pick a later number. Yeah, I would too. I would go
presuming on the basis that 1 to 16 means 1 is going to go first.
So all you're given at the moment is pick a vest from 1 to 16. What you picking, right? I personally would go 16, mate. Dead last. I'll take that because, like your logic, I'll be thinking, right, number 1's going first. Let me learn what's going on, until it gets to my time, and then I'll smash it out of the park, hopefully.
If I remember from reading rightly, isn't it the glass you can jump on can take 2 people?
Yeah.
So my way of thinking of that is, do they know it can take 2 people?
Not to my knowledge, but there are certain people that there's certain people that jump on at the same time and nothing happens. So I guess they learn through that manner rather than being told, oh, it can take 2 people.
What I'm thinking is if you go last, knowing the game now, so this is obviously different, but knowing the game, if the 3 people in front of you jump on a glass that is safe and break it and all die and you're last, know the next jump you're going to make has to be on weak glass because they've broken that good one.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying? So if they jump good to good, but they break the good because they all jump on the same one. Whatever. I don't know why they would, but let's just say they did.
Say they did.
You then have to jump on a weak one if it goes 1-1. If it works like that.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
So if you're dead last and you see them plummet, all you know is, well, I'm dead.
I'm done.
Because you're not jumping the extra distance to get to the next one, are you?
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, very true.
But that's knowing now. So
knowing what the game is, yeah. So say you're midway through the game, yeah? You're halfway on the bridge and loads of people have died in front of you. There's about 4 people in front of you and you've still got loads to go. You've got another third to go, right? But my guy at the front is not moving now. What do you do?
What can you do? In that situation, what can you do?
So
I wouldn't try and overtake him. Why would I try and overtake him for? No. What's the point?
You wouldn't.
Why do I want to be first knowing that I can die?
So this as well, just to add it in the mix, this is also timed.
Okay.
So you have, I can't remember what the time was, but say for argument's sake, it's 10 minutes again.
Okay.
So you have 10 minutes to complete this all. And if you don't cross the line, then it's one of those ones. So I personally, Dan, right? So everyone's on their rightful position, so we know that what we're already standing on works, right? I I feel like, especially if it's timed. No, I was gonna say that I just push him. Fucking hurry up. Do you know what I mean? But then obviously
Okay.
I'm at the front. I'm
You're
at the
going to
top
end up
now.
at the front.
Yeah, exactly.
You need a few people ahead of you to create that path for you, and you know.
Yeah. Because that's the scary thing as well. One, you don't want to go first, or get to the, as I said, push you off, get out of the way. Right, we're going. As well as you got like a third left to go, but also you don't want to be last because the time's running out. So you want him to move. So how do you get him to move? So this is what these are the things that happen in the series as well in the episode. That was just so gripping to watch. It was like, so what do you do? Like how do you get someone to move? Because one of the guys that weren't moving was like one of these like top dogs. Well, I say top dogs. Like he's probably the hardest out of the lot. He's like, I ain't fucking moving. Like, one of you need to jump in front of me. Blah blah blah. All this sort of stuff. So if you faced like one of these people, like, how do you think you'd go about it?
I don't. No idea.
I think I just accept defeat there, bro. I honestly, I think stand there and just accept defeat.
I don't know if you'd have to try and gang up with the two people behind him, but also get them to jump first. Like, as you said, maybe get one of them to jump on his square, which you know is safe, and just launch him off, and then convince them you got to go first.
Yeah, so you do a bit of psychology.
And talk them through it, like, come on, yeah, that one looks definitely safe, and just try and convince them, and, eventually see what happens.
Okay, I like it, mate.
It's tough. Listen, it's tough. I don't know if there is a right answer for that one. I don't think there is.
I guess it just comes down to what you would do personally. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer. How can you? It's death either way, isn't it?
Yeah.
The last game, I won't go too much into this because it's a bit complicated. But they played this game called the Squid Game. It was an actual game that people when they were younger in Korea used to play. And from what I didn't really gather what it was, but basically you had to move from one end to the other, and someone's got to try and stop you. But it was a bit brutal. Like you could sort of wrestle and fight or whatever. And in this, the two people at the end are told that they're playing the Squid Game. One's the attacker and one's the defender. And no type of violence is off the tables. You can do what you want. Wouldn't you, at this point, right, sod the game, just to fucking kill each other?
Yeah, you'd have to.
Why would you play the game for? This is what baffled me, yeah. And I love the series, don't get me wrong. But the Squid Game, where they stood there, just them two in this open area. My guy gets to his position, and the other guy does as well. And then the attacker has a handicap basically for some reason. And he starts playing the game. I'm thinking, well, if one of you were definitely going to die, you would make sure. I wouldn't play the game at that point. Would you?
Yeah, to win, get rid of him.
No, someone just had to die. Last man standing at that point.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'll just go full blaze, mate.
But maybe that's not the rules, though, is it?
Yeah, maybe probably not.
So if you had to play the game, so if you're the attacker, you have to get past the defender, is it?
You have to get to the other end of this squid thing on the ground, basically this like box and triangle. You had to get through to the top. There's a certain route you have to take, and the defender has to stop you from getting it.
Okay.
Basically.
So,
and in however way they do.
Was it two men? Was it a female? What was the situation?
Two men. Two men.
So I feel like if you were the attacker, you might have to try and convince the guy, look, let's work a way out here of how we both get out of here. Try and convince them. How are we going to get through this, bro? We can do this together.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And then kick him in the nuts and just
yeah.
I don't know, beat him to death or something. I don't know. You'd have to do something.
I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I thought you were going to befriend him, get out of here.
It is nothing more complicated than just convince him that you're his mate and listen, F these people, we can get through this, and then just boot him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, right, when you watch all these movies and like people headbutt each other and they just get up and it was like nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
If you get kicked in the nuts, you are not getting back up. I don't care who you are.
For a good 45 minutes, man.
It hurts to get kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
And if you get kicked in the balls by someone who is fighting for their life, you ain't getting up. So kick him in the nuts and walk to freedom, bro. You don't even need to jog because he's not getting up. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at that.
That's what you do. I like
it. If you're the defender, I mean, it's almost same tactic, in it. I don't like same thing.
I think you kind of, you would, wouldn't you? You'd play the same tactic for sure.
I think you just have to go for it, mate. You just, it's your life or his life. So you got to go all out. Yeah,
exactly. So you just would. I wouldn't even sod the game, bruv. Just fight.
I just go. You'd have to just kill him and walk to freedom.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. But that's all the games. That's very interesting. I like your answers, man.
So let me just ask you, right?
Yeah, go on.
What was the point? Why would it be? Why were they in this game?
So again, massive spoiler. You won't watch this, will you?
No, probably not.
No, okay, right. The massive spoiler. So, guys, if you haven't seen this show, please do not listen to what I'm about to say, please. And if you do listen to it, do not get out of the comments, please. So, just disclaimer: there's an older gentleman within this series, right? He is in the game and he's playing the games and all this sort of stuff. And then we see him in the marble game. The main guy has the old geezer and basically does what you says, but sort of makes him sort of seem like he's going a bit crazy and all that sort of stuff. And basically tells lies and he gets all the marbles and etc. Whatever. He was the creator of this whole thing. So in the last episode on his deathbed, he's basically saying, I was so rich. That life got so boring. Him and his friends, his rich folk, just life wasn't exciting anymore. There was no fulfillment, all this sort of stuff. There was no pure adrenaline in his life anymore. So that him and his rich friends basically sat around and thought of some ideas and came up with this type of game. And it obviously progressed into what it is now. And it was the idea of like gambling your life and that thrill, basically. And not, he said that at first it was about watching it and seeing it. It was exciting and it was all this sort of stuff, put money on the line. It was their version of gambling, basically their version of betting. To them, the humans were like horses. They were just like, yeah, cool. Let's just place a bet on number 46 or number 500, or, they saw it as that. And that was the pure reason, is that they were so bored of their rich life. There was nothing that excited them anymore. They took that next step beyond that.
So how did they pick the players who took part? Was there any way?
Yeah.
Like, in say a film like Saw, they picked people who had done bad things and blah, blah, blah. Was this something similar?
Similar, yeah. So what they did is they picked people that were in debt, huge amounts of debt. So it was basically a chance to go, look, there's a lot of money on the line here. Fight your way until you win, and this could change your life. And I think they picked on, I want to say ill people as well, but I might be wrong in that. But it was heavily influenced by people that were in debt, huge amounts of debt. So they sort of pried on, and they were basically given a choice. Again, I watched the first episode a long time ago, but they were basically, this man would say, do you want to play a game with me? And he had a blue envelope and a red envelope. And I can't remember I can't remember. It was so long ago that I saw this first episode. They would play a little game, and basically the people that would, they would lose basically. And then they'd get a card, and if they want to go further with the game, they'd call this number and come along, blah, blah, blah. And that was the premise of how they got there. And then they actually had a chance to leave. They said they voted to not have these games on. There's something in the clause that if you all vote that you don't want to have these games, you'll be sent back home. You don't know what's happened. Like, obviously you get kidnapped and knocked out, all this sort of stuff. But they all chose to come back. So they were sort of enticed by the money. So when they got home and that sort of stuff, they were like, you know, they were thinking about the money and what it could do for their families and what it could do for their lives. That the majority of them went back and completed the games. So, well, not all of them completed, but you know what I'm trying to say. So it was honestly, bro, I think with the context as well, it's worth watching. It really is. But I mean, I've told you everything now, so
I basically feel like I've watched it. So
yeah. Exactly.
So what did the guy win? It must have been
a
pretty big sum of money. No?
Yeah, so it was like 46 billion won, which is like it probably for us would be. Yeah. It was a Nando's and a beer. It was mental. Yeah, like billions of pounds, basically billions. Probably around that ballpark anyway. But yeah, man, it was a great episode. As you said, it's been raving at the moment. A great series, sorry. But yeah, thought I'd run the games by you and see how you played them, man. I like the first one, the crawling on the floor. That's quite a good one. If you can make that in 10 minutes, yeah, that's a solid one. There.
I'll be honest. I don't think I'll make it out with that thing.
No, I wouldn't.
I don't reckon I'd make it out.
No.
I would try, and I told you I would lie and I'd convince people I was their mate and all that to survive. But no, I probably wouldn't survive.
Yeah. I think for me, I'd like to think that I would get to the bridge, and then I'm fucked.
I reckon that's where I'd get done.
Yeah, I would get absolutely done on the bridge. No way am I. Yeah, no way.
But here's the situation for you, though, right? Let me say this to you.
Yeah, go on.
What happens if no one makes it past the bridge? Game's over.
Yeah.
Nobody wins.
So
what
then
they start again.
Start again, I guess. Yeah, start again. Start getting another lot of people in, because every time someone dies as well, an extra bit of money gets added to the pot.
Oh,
so in total, there's there's a loads of amount of money to win, but it depends on how many. Well, obviously it's the same amount of money at the end of the game, but just it amounts every time when people die. Just to entice the game as well. So I guess that they would just get this. They'd have the same jackpot there, and pardon me, just get a new lot of people, I guess.
Okay, fair.
That's what they would do. Yeah, man. On the subject of thrillers and interesting, scary series, it's Halloween soon.
It will be end of this
month.
It
is the month of Halloween. Are you a fan of Halloween, Dan?
Not particularly.
No?
No, not really.
So you're not a fan of Squid Game?
No.
Not a fan of Mate, I'm trying to bloody have a conversation with you. What's going on?
That's the end of this week's podcast. Thanks for that. No.
No, I'm joking.
Man. I don't like scary movies. I don't like Halloween movies. No. No, it's not mine.
What's your thoughts? Slight change of conversation. What's your thoughts on the paranormal?
I don't believe in none of it.
Don't believe in no ghosts. No...
You're not pulling nothing from me here today, are you? Look, this is as awkward as possible.
Mum, dinner. Oh, sorry. I've got to go. No, I'm joking.
No, I don't believe in anything like that. Ghosts.
You don't believe in
nothing.
No. Like nothing at all.
Nothing. No.
I watched this channel, called Nuke's Top 5. Right. I cut. Thing is, I believe it, but I don't. I always see things and go, that can be explained. Surely, I'll try and work it out. But there are some things I've gone, whoa, like, okay, that's a bit crazy. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit mad. So, yeah, Nuke's Top 5 basically is a channel on YouTube where he shows basically top 5 of the week ghost videos that people would put up throughout the week and all this sort of stuff, right? Some of it's a bit, it's a bit wank, like all that sort of stuff. But some others are like, how do you explain that? Like, it's crazy. So by watching these videos, I've been watching for some time, there has been videos that I've seen that I've gone, nah, that for me is, well, it's got to be proof. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of feel like with special effects nowadays, you can do anything you want. I'm not saying it is all, and maybe these things are true.
I get what you're saying.
I'm not trying to say that it isn't. I'm saying with computers and special effects, you can do anything you want. Doors, you got more access. You can do all that. It's easy.
You got more access to that sort of stuff, didn't you? Yeah, no, I hear what you say.
listen, like, I don't know, you hear noises, you hear like a toy will fall over and things, and I just think, toys just falling over. I don't think about, or it's
Mm.
because there's a guy with a sword who's swinging at the toys because he used to live here, and it's like, oh, whatever. Don't believe in all
I
that
want to know.
rubbish.
I want to know about the geezer that used to live in your house with a sword, mate. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I don't know why he's got a sword, but
Yeah, just practices like his fucking taekwondo. Saying what's going on?
taekwondo. Why'd you have a sword for taekwondo?
He's a bad one. He doesn't quite know what's going on.
No, I don't particularly believe in any of it. I My granddad used to say he would see people. Um, he moved to Spain, and he said like my nan had come back to England, and he was out there on his own. And he said he woke up one morning, like or in the middle of the evening, sorry, and there was a little boy at the end of his bed. He said, this little kid. I can't remember what he said. He was dressed in an army uniform or something, but he was only a young boy. He said he
Wow.
was really young, but in an army uniform. And I went, right. And I said, and what was he doing? He said nothing. He was just looking at me. And I was like, okay. I was like, you did what? He went, rolled over and went back to sleep. I was like, what? Like, I kind of think if you wake up and see some little kid standing at the end of your bed, you'll be like, what the hell is going on?
You ask him like,
I don't just feel like
yeah.
you're going to roll over and go back to sleep. I don't know. Like,
that's fun. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying there.
he also
I see what
said
you're saying.
he saw his mum sitting in his front garden. She was sort of obviously dead because he was 70-odd. But he said and I was a bit like, you lived in England. Like, why would your mum's ghost now be in Spain? Like, I don't. What's
Oh,
the,
okay.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not saying
yeah,
I disbelieve him because maybe he did see it. I'm not
yeah,
saying that.
yeah.
But I just tend to believe like it's sort of in your imagination almost.
So you think it's a lot? Yeah. If
I
you tell
think so.
yourself you see people, you're gonna make things
Like
up in your.
we had a family dog, as you know, Mark, because your dad painted us a lovely picture. Um,
Especially.
and we had him for 15 years, 14, 15 years, a long time, man, long time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
And I had to take him to the vet to have him put down. And I remember coming home that same day. We was in the kitchen, and I mean, I'll be honest, everyone was crying, like we're all upset. You
Yeah,
know
of
what I mean?
course, man. Of course.
And I remember sort of turning my head and then seeing what I thought was the dog laying in the same place that he always used to lay at. And I remember just going, yeah, now that is weird. Like I've just convinced I saw him. But I kind of think it's in your head. You're used to seeing that there, that the dog, you see the dog
Yeah.
there. So I kind of feel like it was just naturally in your head, and you're upset, and you got all these emotions going on, and it was just like your imagination. You saw it.
You put it
Um,
there for yourself, type thing.
I think what it was is when I took him to the vet, we knew he was being put down because that was the plan. That's why we went.
That was the purpose. Yeah.
He wouldn't look at me. I took him. My mum couldn't take him. She was too upset. So I took him, and he wouldn't look at me. And I was like, this is weird. Like, he knows something's up here. Do you know what I mean? He's not looking at me. They put the needle in him and all that stuff. And as they started injecting him, he just turned and looked at me and just looked me in the face, put his like head here and was just looking at me. And I just remember feeling so guilty, man. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, And the one thing, like, if I feel like that I did see the dog's ghost, say, right? If I'm gonna interpret it as that, I would take that as a way of letting me know he was all right. Don't worry about it, I'm all good, because of the not looking at me and that. And I convinced myself like that for a long time. But I think the older I'm getting, the less and less I don't believe in it. I just believe it was just, I was so used to him being there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just kind of,
yeah.
oh God, it wasn't actually him.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But for a long time, I convinced myself that was him telling me he was all right. Don't worry about it. It weren't your fault. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that went pretty deep. But you know.
No, yeah, fair, man. I think that's it's mad to think that dogs know that sort of stuff, as that knows that something's going on. Like you said, that's out of character for your dog to do that.
Yeah, he knew something was
Wasn't it?
happening.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
knew something was going on.
Yeah. That's why I just think, yeah, it's mad. There's just so much more to all this stuff, man. But yeah, no, maybe it is something that you've imprinted in your brain. It's just what you're used to seeing, and you expected him to be there, and maybe it just played a trick on you for a little bit.
I think on that topic though, like, see, I don't know if I've said it before on here, but my biggest fear, I have two major fears in life, right? One is choking,
Yeah.
and one is dying, right?
Mhm.
So we're all going to die, okay? There's nothing you can do to stop that. We're all going to die. But what freaks me out, right, is that when you die, depending on what you believe, right? When you die, that's it, done, nothing.
Mm.
And but it's not so much that I'm dead; it's the conscience part of you that freaks me out that suddenly just doesn't exist. So
Bro,
we're
I'm not gonna
sitting here
lie to you.
now, right? We're talking, and
I
I'm
have these same thoughts.
oh, really, yeah.
I swear to God,
It's
carry
really
on. Yeah,
weird,
go on.
isn't it? So I
Yeah.
think now, like me and you were talking, right? And in my head, I'm chatting away to you, but in my head, I might be going, "Mark's an idiot, never like this guy." Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, to think that someday this just stops. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just done.
Yeah.
That freaks me out, mate. Like,
Yeah.
so I suppose it's not so much dying, but it's that just nothingness.
Right.
Like
That blank.
one day
That black.
you just flick off, and
Just
everyone goes,
darkness. Done.
and everyone says it like, yeah, but you won't know about it. Yeah, but it still freaks me out to just know that my conscience
Yeah.
is done. It's just died.
Mm. Mm.
You know? I don't know.
No, I get that. I completely second that, bro. Like I have those thoughts as well. Like this is getting deep, but we're gonna
Yeah,
go. We're rocking it, man. We're rocking it.
very deep.
Yeah, that I have those moments where, like, yeah, it's just the whole like black. It just goes black down. Like like you're not aware of it as well. Like, all this
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But I guess that I have questioned myself. I'm not a religious person, but believing in the supernatural, like believing that there may be something else out there. Is that just me telling myself that, oh, there might be something else?
Mm.
It doesn't just all go black. Maybe you do go somewhere, right? Is it me comforting myself in that? I always have those thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes, am I just telling myself this? That is it real?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. But
I mean,
because I kind of look at it this way, right? If there's ghosts, right? Let's say right now in front of me there's 50 ghosts that used to live in this house and all this sort of stuff, right?
with swords and that, yeah.
And sort of fighting in a hallway, innit?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it weird? It's just a weird thing to me to think that ghosts would be watching everything you do. So when you're sitting on the toilet, there's some geezer in the bath. Like, it's weird, isn't it? I just find that really sort of.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, not fair. I hear what you're saying. I've had one moment in my life that I've never been able to explain. And like I said, I always try and find a thing to like sort of debunk it, I suppose. I was at a friend's house one night, and he had a free house, right? It was just me and him drinking, playing FIFA, all this sort of stuff. Now he lived there. I know when I explain it, you know exactly where I'm talking about. His house backed onto the park area around ours, the big foresty area, right? His garden backed onto that, and it was obviously silent. It's huge. So it was like 1 o'clock at that in the morning, and we're not drunk, like we're not like hammered, like we're tipsy. We've still got like our conscious about us and all that sort of stuff. He says, "Oh, I'm going to go out for a smoke. Do you want to come and join me just for a chat?" Obviously, I don't smoke, so I was like, "Yeah, cool, come. I'll come outside." And we're whispering. It's that quiet around where he lives. Obviously, we didn't want to sort of wake up any of his neighbors or anything like that. So we're whispering quite quietly. And we just come out of his double doors. Now, I'll paint a picture for you. The double doors are here. The back of the house goes up. Like behind us here was the bathroom, right? Then there's the kitchen comes out here, and then there's like another random window here, right? But we're chatting, whispering and chatting and all that sort of stuff. And all of a sudden we hear like a on the window, right? A little knock on the window. And we both looked at the same window. Like, what? Like that was definitely like an object or something. And we were thinking, was it a fly? It could have been a fly. Like, what the fuck are you on about? That's some hench fly if it's doing that against the window, like all that sort of stuff. We thought there after that, we're like, oh, that's strange. What? Maybe the houses make weird noises all the time. Like maybe it's just one of those things. And we carry on talking. And again, does it on the window. Same window, same noise. And I look back at my mate at the time, and he was scared. Like he didn't really know what that was. Like He's never heard that before. Like, all this sort of stuff. It's not normal for his house, etc. Right. So I was like, at this point, I'm thinking because his family were out on like I don't know, like a weekend away or something. I thought, well, they've got to be back, isn't they? They're a bunch of practical jokers. They're obviously back. They've gone upstairs and gone to, let's scare them a little bit. Check the whole house. No one there. So that moment is for me in my life. I've been like, I can't explain what that was because it was so quiet. Like I feel like I would have known what that would have been if it was.
Did he have any pets? Cats? Anything?
He had. I want to say he had a dog, but it was a very old dog. So I think it stayed downstairs most of the time. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember, but
I
maybe it was a pet. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was.
It's just the way I look at it, right? Because I'm not disputing what you're saying. I
No,
believe you 100%. But the way I look at this thing is, however long the guy's lived there for, right? Let's say he's lived there for 10 years. We don't know. We're just making it up. Say he's lived there for 10 years. Why has it taken 10 years for someone to finally knock on his window?
To do that. Yeah.
Surely if some ghost or some other being has the ability to knock on your window, they also have the ability to pick up your sofa and turn over your telly and boil the kettle and all these things. So
do
why
your
are they
bed
not doing
sheets,
that?
all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I kind of think if they have the ability to knock on a window, why is that the first thing they've ever done? Is knock on a window.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens again.
Yeah, for the rest of the time.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
No, but this is what I'm saying. It was such a weird moment that until this day, I'm still thinking like that is so weird. But there probably is a logical explanation behind it. I think there's a logical explanation behind 99% of the things. Do you know what I mean? But
the one thing I will say as well is it's because I don't want to just sound like I'm being awkward.
No, not at all.
I also don't want to believe in it. I feel like there's a bit of me that is like, well, I just don't want to believe in it as well. So that's probably why I'm so negative about it as well. But I think that the idea of it being real kind of freaks me out as well. So I kind of just it doesn't exist. Don't think about it. I don't ever talk about it.
Yeah, right.
Because I know now after having this conversation, I'm going to freak out when I go into the hallway and it's dark, and you know what I mean. It's going to freak me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tend to I don't believe in it. It's not real. Blah blah blah. I never think about it. And if I hear a noise, it's just a noise. Don't worry about it. Like a toy might randomly fall over, or a toy might turn itself on. I'm like, it's the battery's going, or the toy just fell over. It was leaning somewhere, and it's just
electrical stomach, or
slowly gone down, or whatever. You know. Yeah. I don't also want to believe in it. Even for the positive stuff, where people say, oh yeah, my grandma visited me and let me know everything's all right. Just even that, don't want to believe in that.
Don't want to know.
No, I don't want to believe I'm sitting on the toilet having a poo and me nan sitting next to me like, don't worry, I'll look after you, patting you on the head, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be
what kind of shits are you having?
I don't want to be
like you're in pain, Dan. You're right.
Yeah, like I don't want to be watched while I'm doing all the time. Just leave me alone. I don't need to know I'm all right. Like, go away.
Yeah.
So any dead relative around me now, just do one. I don't need you. I'll probably die tomorrow because all my guardian angels are just left me.
It's that geezer in your house with the sword, mate. He's going to come along.
They were protecting me from him. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. Yeah. Well, you don't fucking believe anymore. See you later. No, fair enough, man. Fair enough indeed. Yeah, man. I mean, that's all I wanted to sort of talk about today, man. Just Halloween's coming up. Do you believe? Are you a believer? Squid Game, because I'm obsessed. And I like the answers. And I think that if you do get a chance to watch it, I would say yeah. But I know you're not going to. I
probably won't watch it. To be honest. Yeah. I might watch the first one, but I feel like I've got such a negative feeling about it already.
That you're just not going to waste time.
That I might watch the first one and be like, I knew it was crap.
Yeah.
Even though it might be really good, but I think now in my head I'm convinced it's really bad.
Yeah. You're always going to have that opinion.
You know what it is? It's like with these TV shows that everybody piles onto, and oh my god, it's so amazing. And half the time they're not. It's just they've got this big hype around it, And it's like sometimes that doesn't mean it's good. Like Tiger King, right? Blew up. I refused to watch it. I was like, I'm not watching that. because everybody is going on about it, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
shut up! It's really not. There's so many things that are much better than this, which you don't jump on. There's so many movies which are like could go down as the greatest movie in the world, but you don't go on about that.
Yeah, it's true.
So
But
I'm always like, no, I refuse it. But Tiger King, I fucking love Tiger King. I'm telling you.
You just got against your own logic, mate. You watched it and it was the best thing.
But I watched it in the end, like once it all died down. I was like, now I can watch it without
So the
anyone's
hype's gone.
Yeah, like anyone's opinions, everyone going on about it. I can just watch it in peace, and no one's gonna say anything.
Yeah,
and,
I'm with you.
And I was like, it wasn't that I was like, oh my god, this is the best series that's ever done. It was just that it was so wild. It was like, this can't be true, man.
Like
I know the guy's in
unbelievable.
prison and all that stuff, but it's like, this has got to be made up after this rubbish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's so bad that it was so good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I need to watch. I watched a couple of episodes and I thought it didn't grab me at all. And
it gets better because he gets more nuttier. If you think he started off quite nutty, he gets even worse.
Oh, does he?
The guy, yeah, he just gets a bit stranger,
Mad.
Also, just
I'm
for anyone who is listening that did watch it, Tiger King 2 is coming out.
Series 2.
I think this month or next month. I can't remember the date.
Well, I won't be hearing you from you for.
It's weird though because he's in prison, so it's like, what are you showing us now? He's in prison.
Maybe he's acting up in prison, saying all sorts of shit. Who knows?
That should be in prison.
Yeah. Well, moving on, mate. True and fake news is the first headlines section of series 2, and I believe you are taking control of this one today, my friend.
I will say, for everyone listening, I done this about 5 minutes before we started, so it has been rushed. So I do apologise. And I'm actually giving
5 out of 5.
I'm giving Mark an unfair advantage, I think. So me and Mark have discussed what we are going to do moving forward. Because we were going to do dares in the last season, and we kind of just didn't really do it, did we, Mark? To be honest, we have now decided we are going to add up the scores, and the person at the end of the season with the least amount of points will do a forfeit. And so any forfeits that you have in mind, stick in the comments. Let us know on Instagram, episode? Whatever. Was that
a separate episode?
Separate episode.
Yeah, like the forfeit will be a separate episode. Would you reckon?
Yeah, or it'll be a video on Instagram or a vlog or whatever.
Okay.
We'll do something along that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the way we're going to do it. So I think I've given him an unfair advantage because he's probably going to get 5. So it's not great, to be honest.
I'm ready there. I'm ready for
let's go. And let's hope that he is tricked by some of them. So. Okay, this one, you'll like this one, Mark, because this is actually about Squid Game, mate.
Oh!
You'll love it.
Oh, my favourite.
So, the Korean creator of Last Alive pilot show has filed a claim against Netflix for copying the exact plot from his show in Squid Game.
Bro, that's tough, Last Alive. Okay, I'm gonna say true because I feel like that this concept gets done quite a lot, but it doesn't get executed well. So I'm gonna say true.
And it is completely false.
Oh no!
Do you know what the worst thing is, right? Is I just read it and the ending didn't make sense. And you should have clocked onto the fact that I totally messed up what I said.
What did you say?
I've got written, Korean creator of Last Alive pilot show has filed a claim against Netflix for copying exact plot to new show Squid Game. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I thought that. Do you know what? I in my head, sometimes headlines they shorten their words to make it make sense. I thought it was that.
So I was going to say, and then I realized it would be given it. I was going to say to you, I had to translate it. And then I was like, that's almost like, that's too much. Do you know what I mean?
Look, gee, I didn't know you were Korean, mate. What's going on?
Exactly. So I was like, oh, I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
Excuse me.
So I'm not getting 5.
So you're not getting 5. That's brilliant. I'm happy with that.
That's brilliant for you. Yeah.
So, student excited, dad got head job.
What? Say it
Exactly.
one time.
Student excited, dad got head job.
Oh, well, hang on. Okay, so it's obviously got to be head teacher, innit? So student was excited that parent got head teacher job.
Teacher job. I don't remember there being teacher in that headline, bro. It says head job.
Head job. That's a different kind of job,
Yeah,
Keith.
exactly. I think that's the point.
True.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
You read too much into that.
yeah, I did a bit.
You're like head
Mate,
teacher job. I was like, no, Mark, get the joke.
yeah, no,
Right. Waterford boy 8 saves sister's life. I wouldn't do it again. She's been a pain this week. I'm glad you like that one.
oh my, yeah. I'm gonna say false.
That is true, my friend.
Is it true?
It's true. That is brilliant.
Can you read that one more time?
So Waterford boy 8 saves sister's life. I wouldn't do it again. She's been a pain this week.
Oh, brilliant.
I for sure thought you'd get that one.
No, do you know what I thought? I thought that's got to be something Daniel's made up. That's got to be something he's made up there.
I'm glad that you think I'm that creative.
No.
I'm glad. I'll take that.
Yeah, I thought it was clever.
I will take that.
Oh shit! So I've only got one.
You got 1 hour for free so far.
Blimey. Right. Okay. I'm not doing very well.
So, porn star sues over rear end collision.
Please, say you've made that up. I'm gonna say it's true. No, wait. Yeah, true.
It is true.
It's true. Oh,
It's
thank
true.
God. Thank God.
It is true, my friend.
I thought it was going to be like 1 out of the 5, mate. I thought it was going to be it, mate. Jesus, rear end collision. That's funny. That is hilarious.
So number 5 is for 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Come on.
Most earthquake damage is caused by mass panic.
It's caused by mass panic. Say that one more time for me again.
So most earthquake damage is caused by mass panic.
I'm going to say false, but I feel like you're going to say it's true.
See, I don't want to say anything because I know that you always think I'm trying to do
Yeah.
things. But
I'm staying with false.
We'll stick with false. But
Yeah.
what I do want to say is think about toilet rolls, fuel. Look at all these things that mass panic. Look what it creates. Carnage. Just saying that.
From Earth.
I'm just saying that, right?
Yeah.
So we're false,
Yeah. I'm sticking with-
Even trying to convince you didn't work. It was false. do you know what the actual headline was? The actual headline was most earthquake damage is caused by shaking. Like, yeah, no, we didn't work that one out, mate. Like,
For years, we've been trying to think.
so I was like, I'm going to change that and hope that sort of you think that would be ridiculous enough to be true.
Well, it got me enough to question. Bro.
Yeah.
I was like, thinking, really? Shit.
I was like, I might have him with that one, but
Yeah,
no,
you were
done well.
close, mate.
So you
Alright,
got
so that's what-
3.
Okay, see, that's average. That's a good start.
I think that's not a bad start. Considering
It's
I thought
not a
you
bad
get
start.
5, I will take you
Yeah,
getting
considering.
3.
I mean, the pressure you put on me was insane.
Unreal.
Now I've broken.
I'm glad you didn't
Brokers.
get the Squid Game one. I'm glad with it. I like that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's. I just thought that would have been true. Because it sounded like a headline.
Hmm.
Oh,
I messed
anyway.
up the last bit, and I was like, oh, no, he might.
No,
I think
that
he's got
that sounded like a headline to me. Like they just shortened the words up and gone. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Okay, 3 out of 5. There we go.
We start on a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, there we are. Well, guys, that is the end of episode 1, series 2. Dan, Thank you for your time today, my friend. As
Andrew,
always.
thanks for leading, Mark. I appreciate that.
No worries. Thank you. Guys, if you do like this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Join in the conversation and let us know what you want us to talk about. Any suggestions are welcome. So, Dan, it's bye from me, and I'll see you next time.
And it's a goodbye from me, and I will probably see you next time. Bye.
Hopefully. See you.